Listen, my friends, if you want to catch a giant trout or a bass and you've got some pond smelt around, tie this damn thing. I put about 4 strands of pearlescent crystal flash under the tail of it. I've tied this style fly before, but this is on this jig head. It's snowing like nuts here, by the way. And this is double speed too, all right? So don't get hung up on doing it fast. But I tied in a small size rabbit zonker, and I'm putting some UV pearl ice dub on that body just to even out that hump between the back of that and the head. I'll wrap this around. Last time I tied this style fly, someone informed me there was a guy named John Barr and that he tied a fly called a meat whistle, and I should tie that one instead of this one. It's like, well, sorry, bro. My PhD is not in John Barr, but only because they didn't offer it. I know about John Barr. Anyway, sorry to complain about the haters. I'm just going to roll that small rabbit zonker hide forward up to the head, and I'm going to put the straw on there. The straw trick will save your life, man. It just gets everything back out of your way. I'm going to put a couple of these silly legs on there. These are just orange and black. They got a little flashy in them. Listen, if you're being cheap about this, or if you're tying your first flies, you don't have a bunch of materials, you can skip the flash, you can skip the legs. That rabbit strip costs you about $3 a pack, $4 a pack, and you can get these jig heads at Sportsman's like I did. They're just 16th ounce cheap crappie jigs. Okay, so I'm going to just tie those legs in, and you might have noticed I cut one of those strands in half, and I tied them in the middle, and I pulled them back to the sides, and I'm not going to trim them or anything else. They're done. I'm not going to think about them until I take them out of a trout's mouth or a bass's mouth here when this snowstorm stops. Okay, pulling a dubbing loop, and I'm going to get a piece of that strip in my dubbing clip, and I'm going to trim that off. Now listen, you could also just wrap that hide all the way forward like a slump buster and tie it off. This thing really doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to flutter around. So don't get hung up on the details if you're a new fly tyer. And if you're experienced and these techniques don't work for you and you got a better one, then obviously do it, man. I'm not claiming to know how to do everything here. I'm just claiming to be a guy, just a humble guy who can't miss a 20-inch trout. Okay, so now I'm going to take that and I'm going to sweep it back and I'm going to wrap it all the way forward up into the head, get it tight up against the back of that head, take a couple of turns so that doesn't need a lot of tension to stay in place. That thing's never going anywhere. I'm going to not whip finish it, but I'm going to, put some wraps on that to hold it down. And now I'm going to reposition that straw to sweep that collar back. And I'm going to build a little bit of a hot spot with a thread. If you wrap the hide forward and you have too much of a hot spot, you could cover that with some of that ice dub. This thing's just supposed to look like something. It's not supposed to look like a specific thing. Use your imagination. Tie it. Hope it works for you. Thank you for the support.